Hi, my name is Dmitry. I have enjoyed many positions throughout my career, from senior lawyer to hospitality assistant, but the field that excites me most is web development, which I discovered while being on a paternity leave. I love digging into problems and solve them through technology. That's why I joined the School of Code, to pursue my new passion for coding.
Hi, I'm Liliana. I used to be an accountant for the last 10 years. Although I love what I did, I was more fascinated about problem solving, critical thinking, and design aspect of web developing. So here I am, ready to start my new tech journey.
Hi there, I'm Rory. I was once a student studying French, German, and Spanish at uni before withdrawing after my first year to study more languages in the form of programming languages and to pursue a career in the tech industry. And I'm really loving the journey so far.
Hi, I'm Tuan, formerly a personal trainer. I've swapped my dumbbells for a laptop and continue to hone my problem-solving skills so I can help make meaningful impact to people's lives through code.
Hi, I'm Simran. For the last 8 years, I worked as a biomedical scientist. Although I enjoyed working with the technology testing, I felt unchallenged and bored. So I decided to change careers and jump into the tech industry where I can use my problem solving skills through code to help people solve the challenges they face.
Hello, my name is Irfan. Last year I quit my job in manufacturing to freelance full-time creating Shopify and WordPress websites. Currently, I'm on an amazing journey to become a software engineer with the help of the School of Code. So, what is the problem? Food waste is one of the largest contributors to climate change. We waste about a third of all food produced for human consumption. This wasted food has taken loads of fresh water, land, and labour to produce. If it were a country, food waste would be the third highest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world. But we keep throwing away perfectly good food. Over 10 million tonnes of food are binned each year in the UK. How do we understand the problem? We began by sharing our own personal experiences with food waste. We all agree this is a major issue affecting us and others. We then created a survey to send to other boot campers to collect feedback on features that would be useful to them. We ended up by analysing our data and looked at the biggest problem people are facing and come up with a solution to fix this. Now I will hand over to Lily to talk about our user personas.
As part of our research, we also creating a number of user stories with different type of potential users. This helps us to understand why functionality is important to them and remind us to focus on their needs during our project. These are some of the key points we took from our user stories. Some of the aspects that we have in common were improving the environment, reducing the amount of waste, cutting down the expenditure, and putting more towards the community. The solution that we have created for our user is the iGive, the community sharing app which allows people to share their unwanted food items which could be useful elsewhere. Now, I will hand you over to Rory and Dimitri who will give you our app demonstration.
Okay, hi everyone. So Dimitri and I would like to just quickly walk you through the application and basically explain some of its functionality and how we'd like our users to interact with the page and that kind of thing. So we'll start with the landing page and over to you, Dima.
Thanks, Rory. Hi, everyone. Here is a landing page. It's here to welcome first-time users. They can learn about our inspiration for the application, watch a short tutorial-style video, look at reviews, and add feedback themselves using this Get in Touch message box if needs be. We wanted to make this section as interactive as possible, so we use the Intersection Observer API to handle scroll events. The next logical step is to log in, so let's do just that. Okay, so this is a first glimpse of the dashboard. As a first-time user, you can familiarize yourself briefly with the layout if you want to. We'd like to just point out that there is not a great deal a first-time user can do until they are registered with us. We have taken the decision to hide the buttons, and we will show you how they work in a short moment. If you head over into the top right-hand corner over here, you can finish off a registration in your personal profile section.
Okay, so from within your profile section, you can go ahead and add some details about yourself, like a bio, full name, local area, that kind of thing. And you can choose your profile picture from your local storage, and that's going to then save, and the image URL is going to be stored in our database alongside the other information, but we're actually using the Cloudinary API to host that image separately on Cloudinary. It's also worth mentioning that only I can see my email, and also we opted for local area as opposed to specific address, just for privacy reasons, to be honest. So when we head on over to the listings page now, you can see that we're not only able to open more information about the item and request it, but we can actually upload an item for ourselves. So let's do that right now. So when we hit give item in the top left hand corner, which I've just done, it opens up this modal where you fill out details about the item that you're listing. So I've just filled this out already just to save some time, but I'm going to choose a file again. And this is actually my compost, like for real. So let's go ahead and post this. And you can see in a short moment, you'll get a message just saying it was a success. And there you go. It's up for grabs on the page. Within my profile section, I can see my active listings. I can edit them and edit the details. I can hit reserved if someone's communicated with me and I'm happy that they're going to come and pick the item up. And all that does is it just grays it out ever so slightly just to indicate that it's temporarily unavailable. I can then release it. And if I wanted to, I can go ahead and just delete the item. But importantly, I can't go into anyone else's profile and edit or delete their own items because that would not be a good idea. And it was really interesting on that topic to learn about static site generation and to learn about how the profile pages could basically be pre-rendered templates that get pre-rendered at build time. And it was cool to learn about that and learn about like Next.js and some of its features.
So the last step for us is to go ahead and arrange some sort of collection between both users. To do this, we can expand the item of interest by clicking on the detail button. It's from this point where I can drop a short message expressing interest in the item. The owner of the item will receive a message in their inbox and can get in touch. Yeah, it's worth mentioning that we have several ideas to make the app more intuitive for users. They helps us to move to the next few points, which covers essentially what we would have done given a few more days. To start with, the request process could have been done more slick. There were a few times when we considered to migrate into the Firebase as a main platform. They would have covered authentication, data storage, and the cloud storage for us, which also would allow us to implement real-time messaging functionality based on the Firebase Firestone. But at the moment, however, we have stuck with a slightly clunkier process just to provide some values and benefits to our users. We have motivation, of course, to improve this.
Yeah, of course we do. And we also have motivation to add in some kind of mapping or geolocation features because we think that would really take the user experience to the next level and it would really make it interactive because at the end of the day, our app is all about community and people in your local area. And so having some kind of map and being able to see who is online in the area would really make it a really enjoyable app to use. So we're going to really try and reconvene as a group and implement that in the next few weeks.
Absolutely. And in addition to this, we are enthused by the concept of learning about a native mobile application using tools such as React Native or Flutter.
Now I'll take you through our project timeline. We started by defining the problem we wanted to solve as a team. This included ideation, user research, designing wireframes, and branding. We spent our second week focusing on building our MVP, where we split into 2 teams of 3 to build our databases on the back end and set up our front end design, both of which were deployed early. After achieving our MVP, we managed to meet our stretch goal in week 3, which allowed us plenty of time to review the styling of the app and implement testing. In our final week, the team focused on fixing bugs and adding features to make our app more complete. Using the Disney ideation approach, we analyzed our ideas and synthesized them down in order to define the main problems which our app wanted to solve. We looked at the potential product we could build and worked to the dreamer, realist, and critic stages to get a better understanding of our MVP. We used Figma to create our low-fidelity wireframes and app prototype. It was really useful to have a visual reference for our user interface and logical flow while we were developing. The design was done in detail to allow transition from the prototype design to the actual build of the product.
iGive is a full-stack web application built using many technologies and tools. We wanted to ensure we could get to our MVP, so leveraged tech we had learned during our time at School of Code. This included using Netlify for continuous deployment, GitHub for version control, Node.js and Express for our backend, and Auth0 for authentication and authorization. With our end users in mind, we explored using Next.js over plain React, because for one, it allowed through server-side rendering and other similar out-of-the-box features to create a high-performing and fast app that scales well. It also made it easier for us to build an SEO-friendly application for bringing more awareness to our solution. And for us as devs, it improved development efficiencies through hot module replacement, meaning takes us less time to develop. For our database, we explored MongoDB, but eventually landed on PostgreSQL with Heroku because the data we wanted to store would benefit from a relational database. One of the main aspects of our app we discussed was how to simplify our image handling process, which led us to Cloudinary, which we use for cloud-based image storage and management. We wanted to give our team confidence in our codebase and its robustness, so we used Jest and Supertest to make unit and integration tests to test our backend API, and on the front end, we used Cypress for end-to-end tests. For our planning and designing, we needed to be on the same page, so utilized tools such as Figma, Canva, Miro, and Trello. On our first day of meeting one another, we spent time getting to know each other. We shared our previous experiences working in an agile engineering team and explored many themes like how we work best, how we handle stress, how we would settle conflicts, and so on. We all wanted to have the opportunity to learn as much as we could, so agreed on having no fixed roles, so everyone got to wear many hats across the project, including project managing, leading meetings, working on back-end and front-end. One thing we felt that was important was having an adaptable team with an open door policy so that at any time, anyone could share what they were thinking and feeling with the team and how we could, as a team, support and facilitate that. This led to us having a daily schedule that was adaptable for other life commitments, and it meant setting up regular contact points throughout the day over Zoom and Slack to keep everyone in the loop. We set all of these key points of how we wanted to work in a team manifesto. This provided a great foundation and allowed us to be all in sync and set up an environment where all of us could do our best work and have hella fun in the process. Throughout this project, we used a Trello board to break down our MVP into epics, with each epic delivering a key piece of our project. And from there, each epic was broken down further into smaller, digestible tickets. During our sprint planning sessions, we would decide which tickets needed to be done over the course of a sprint, with most sprints lasting a day or two. The majority of the tickets were handled with pair programming, and instances where we were having particularly challenging blockers, we used mob programming to great effectiveness. To limit merge conflicts and ensure consistency and maintainability of our app, everyone worked on development branches. Once a feature was working, the team would make a pull request, which gave other team members a chance to review the code and make suggestions. Once approved, only then did we merge the development branch with our main code base. One key way we managed our project was through daily stand-ups and retros. It helped us get everyone on the same page, plan for the day, celebrate wins, and discuss blockers. It was great because often things were being brought to our attention that we didn't plan for or were aware of at the time, which allowed us to pivot swiftly and account for accordingly.
So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions so far, please save them for demo day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.